everybody, and welcome back to my monthly movie roundup. So today I'm going to be talking about all the new release Blu-rays that I picked up in March, and as usual I'll be going through them week by week and letting you know briefly what I thought about them and the ratings that I gave them and things like that. So for the first week in March there was one movie that I picked up, and that was Doctor Strange. So yes, Doctor Strange was the first release I picked up in March, and there was only one this week, and I enjoyed it. The thing is with Marvel, I suppose, is that I really love Marvel movies. So when a new Marvel movie comes out, it kind of has got kind of a high level to live up to. And this definitely wasn't one of my favourites. It was just kind of okay for me. I mean, I did give it 4 stars, which obviously is really good. I did enjoy this film. I will be talking about it more in Friday reviews. A couple of these I haven't talked about yet in Friday reviews because Friday is tomorrow, so you guys will hear my thoughts then, a little bit more in depth. But a lot of the Marvel movies I give 5 stars. So this one got 4 stars, so it's kind of below the level that I usually would give a Marvel movie. I think the only other, well, there's a couple of others that got below. We've got Ant-Man. I didn't like that one as much. And things like the Hulk and Iron Man 2. I think they're the only lower ones. But Doctor Strange, I did really enjoy it. I liked Benedict Cumberbatch. I thought that it was funny. I thought it was very strange and interesting. Obviously, Doctor Strange. And it was different. It was different. So it was kind of a nice breath of fresh air because it was different. And visually, it was really cool to look at. But again, I do have some further thoughts I'll share with you on Friday. But that was the first one. And I gave it 4 stars. So it's all good stuff. 4 stars. It's a good rating. And then the second week in March, we had 3 movies come out. So the first one was The Accountant, and then we also had Nocturnal Animals, and then also The Light Between Oceans. So these were the 3 releases on the second week of March. So I was quite excited about all of these, and it was a very mixed bag. These 3 have such different ratings for me. Okay, so first of all, let me just talk about Nocturnal Animals, because this is actually the first March movie that I watched. So Nocturnal Animals for me was very weird. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I say, I have actually talked about this in a video before in a Friday review, so I will link those about. I really like Jake Gyllenhaal. I also really like Amy Adams, but for me, this movie just left me a bit off. I feel like I could have loved this, but the ending didn't sway me that way. So I gave this one 3 stars. I was a little bit disappointed, but it wasn't the worst. I did enjoy the experience of watching it. It wasn't like it was boring to watch. I actually was intrigued when watching. So, you know, that is one thing. It was just how it kind of came about and concluded in the overallness of the film. It wasn't my favourite, but it did lead to some interesting discussion. So I gave that one 3 stars. And then the next one, which is The Light Between Oceans, which again, I need to talk about this one on Friday reviews. This actually was my least favourite film that I picked up in March, which I was so surprised about because I have been waiting for this film forever. I've been really excited about it for a long time. And I gave this one 2.5 stars. I overall was quite disappointed in it. I found it quite dull and boring, but also I found the parts that I thought I should feel something, I should feel sad, I should feel emotion, I kind of didn't. And I felt that was the main key for me. I mean, it could have been slow and kind of slightly boring, but then if I would have really felt for the characters, then obviously I would have given it more, because that's basically what this film should really do. And I didn't, and I was so disappointed. I was so sad after I finished, and I was like, oh. So I gave this one 2.5. I really just, I don't, I mean, there was a few qualities that I did like. I thought that at some parts, I thought, ooh, the mystery's kicking in, and then it kind of wouldn't be a mystery, and so I was like, okay. You know, it wasn't like I couldn't stand to watch it, so 2.5 stars, maybe 2, but I'll say 2.5 just for, I don't know, it was a tough one. I was pretty disappointed in this one. So that's The Light Between Oceans. And then the next one, the final one of week 2, is The Accountant. Now I actually really enjoyed this. I was surprised. It was different than what I thought it would be. I really liked how this movie concluded a lot. At times I kind of got a little bit lost, so I was almost going to give it 3.5, but then there were some things that I just enjoyed about it so much that I couldn't, so I did give it 4. And I've thought about that since, and I definitely still stick with my 4. I would watch it again. Again, there were certain parts that dragged a little bit for me, but nothing too much. I thought it was an interesting story. I thought it was kind of different. I really liked how Ben Affleck portrayed his character. I liked Anna Kendrick. I just thought it was a good, different movie. It wasn't like, oh, I've seen this before a million times. And that's what I liked about this one. It kind of felt refreshing, a bit fresh, a bit different. Like I say, I really liked the conclusion. I liked the pieces coming together. And I had an enjoyable time watching this one. So that was 4 stars for The Accountant. Okay, and then for week 3, again, there was one movie. So this is week 3, and of course, like I say, that was Arrival. So this movie, I thought I would enjoy. I kind of thought, yeah, I'll enjoy that. I actually do enjoy sci-fi. I really love The Martian. I think that's fantastic. And I read the book The Martian, and I loved that as well. I like Interstellar. I enjoyed Gravity. I mean, obviously, these are just recent years ones that I'm mentioning. And I felt like Arrival was this year's big, no, not this year's, 2016's big sci-fi movie. So, I was excited about it. And Amy Adams is in it, Forest Whitaker, and Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner. I always feel like he is Hawkeye. And I really, really enjoyed this movie. I gave it 5 stars. I really loved it. I loved what it made me think of. I loved the score. I loved the aliens. I loved the concept. I just really enjoyed this movie. I really thought it was really good. And I really liked the way that it was told, like in the, I don't know, if you've seen the movie, you might know what I mean. It's a hard one to describe because you don't want to give anything away. It's an interesting movie, and I definitely enjoyed this one. And I think, I definitely probably would say I enjoyed this more than Interstellar and Gravity. I feel like I gave Interstellar 5 stars. I don't know if I gave Gravity 5 stars, I can't remember now. But I probably preferred The Martian to this. But this one is very different to The Martian. I'm just comparing it to recent kind of space movies, I suppose. But this one is definitely on a deeper level. The Martian, I feel like, is more of a funny movie. This, I feel like, makes you think a lot, and it's very, very interesting and thoughtful. But yeah, 5 stars this one. I definitely would recommend it. I really, really did enjoy this a lot, and I was really surprised by how much I enjoyed it. So I definitely would recommend Arrival. And then finally, the final week of March, I had 3 pickups, and we had The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Well, not the, but you know what I mean. Bleed for this, and The Edge of 17. So again, 3 pickups for the end of March. So we had 1 pickup, 3 pickups, 1 pickup, 3 pickups. So that kind of worked out nicely. And this week's batch I was really excited about. Obviously, Fantastic Beasts was my most anticipated movie for March. Edge of 17 I've been looking forward to for ages because I kind of love those high school comedy coming of age movies. And Bleed for this, I just generally enjoy sports movies, so I thought, yes, I will enjoy that one. So, it was an interesting batch for this week. So let's start off and talk about Fantastic Beasts first. Again, this is just a little discussion. I have gone in further detail in other videos. So, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. My expectations for this movie might have been a little bit too high. I do need to watch this again. I gave it 4 stars. I think the main problem is I love Harry Potter, and I think the Harry Potter movies and the Harry Potter books and the Harry Potter world is just so much that I kind of had too much riding on this movie. Because obviously it is not Harry Potter, but it is in that world, in that universe type of thing, so it's kind of hard to, you can't really say, oh, it's not to be compared, because it's difficult. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed the film, but I had problems with it. I thought that this guy would be in it more. I thought that the beasts would be in it more, or that some of the beasts would be, I don't know what it was, I don't know what my issue is with this movie. It's been a while since I watched it. I definitely will watch it again within the next month or so. But I'm not super drawn to watch it again. I wanted to love this so much, and I just kind of thought, yeah, it was good. It was an enjoyable movie. You know, I definitely think it's worth 4. I wouldn't give it 3.5. I think 4 is a good, solid rating for this film. Because I've realised I've got a lot of 4 stars in March. So I kind of thought, right, okay, do I really mean to give all these movies 4 stars? That I did. And then I've gone through them all, and yes, I definitely do. So, Fantastic Beasts. I liked seeing the magic again. I liked the baker. Jacob was his name. I loved his character so much. He was probably my favourite character. Newt, I thought was okay. I enjoyed him. I don't mind Eddie Redmayne, but he's not my favourite. Some of the beasts I really liked and definitely wanted to see more of. I kind of found the witch cult thing storyline interesting. I liked that. I liked Ezra Miller. I'm not sure that's exactly how you pronounce his name. I thought he was good in the movie. I just felt like there was kind of a lot going on, and I think on a second watch I'll be able to really define my thoughts. But yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I was a little bit disappointed. I was kind of a bit disappointed. But, you know, I still enjoyed it, and it was still a solid movie. So that's Fantastic Beasts. And then the next one that I was really, really excited about, The Edge of 17. And again, when I watched this one, I was I was more surprised. It was very different than what I expected. And I think that that's the difference between this one. This was just very different than what I expected. I wasn't disappointed in it. I was just like, oh, okay, this is different. Let's get on to this train of thought that this is how this movie is going to be. It was definitely a lot more kind of depressing and deep than I thought it was going to be. The main character was very different than other main characters in teenage movies, and that's what I thought this movie did interestingly and well. She was more real, and it was more gritty, and I really liked that, actually. I was just surprised at first. I loved Woody Harrelson's character. I thought he was fantastic, and I love Woody Harrelson. He was really great in this. I really, really, really enjoyed his character. And I definitely want to watch this one again soon. I think out of all the ones that I've watched, this is one that I probably will watch soon. Next, again, a rewatch. And yeah, I give this one 4 stars as well. Again, I thought into it. Should I give it 4 stars? Is that what it needs? And I was like, yes, I really did like this movie. I thought it did something different. I thought it did something original. I thought that it was funny at times, mostly from Woody Harrelson. But it wasn't like a comedy. It was more of a, you know, it was a coming of age story, but it was different. It wasn't typical of the pattern. It wasn't the same thing. The main character wasn't the same main character as we've seen a million times. And even though I love those films, I literally will watch those same films put out again and again and again that are the same. I liked that this one did something different. I thought Hayley Steinfeld did a really great job acting her character, because at times I didn't like the main character, and then I did, and then I felt sorry for her, then I didn't like her, then I did, and it was kind of confusing, but I enjoyed it. So that was 4 stars for The Edge of 17. And finally, for the last week, we had Bleed for this. Now again, I enjoy sports movies. I like Miles Teller. I loved Whiplash. I actually watched it a rewatch, and I didn't enjoy it quite as much, but the first time I watched it, I completely fell in love with Whiplash. It was amazing. But, Bleed for this. Again, kind of had that Miles Teller that I like. In Whiplash, I really, really liked him. I've seen him in some other movies, and I thought he was just okay. In this, I loved Miles Teller's character. It was so good. He was very funny. He was very... I can't even explain it, but I loved this movie. I thought that it would be a bit generic, because I'd read online that it was generic. It's not got the best reviews, this film. And I just felt like it was so different, and for days after watching it, I've been thinking about it in my mind, and thinking about what this character went through, and what he is willing to do, and how he pushes himself, and I found it so interesting. This is another one that is high on my rewatch list, and when I finished it, I didn't actually think, oh, I'm going to rewatch that again soon, but for days later, I kept thinking about it. I was like, yes, this one I need to rewatch. I definitely want to see this again soon. I thought it was brilliant, but I do enjoy sports movies, and I enjoy boxing movies. So, you know, it was just weird, because boxing as a sport isn't something that I watch or enjoy, and I wouldn't like to go to a boxing match because I find it a bit too much. But in a film, I'm like, yes, I can take it. So I do love my sports movies, and I did love this, and I give it 4.5 stars, and I would definitely recommend it. I mean, well, some other people don't enjoy it, but I personally really, really did. So it's just, it got everything right for me personally. So yeah, I believe this was my second favourite film of the month, which is crazy to me. I did not think that's how it would be. Like, it was the second highest rated I gave a film, I mean. So yeah, that was Bleed for this. So now let's go through quickly the, oh sorry, shaky camera, what I gave things. So up for 5 stars, we had one movie, Arrival. The only movie that got 5 stars. In February, there was only one 5-star movie as well. Hopefully, April will give us some more 5 stars because I could really do with some more 5-star movies. So yeah, Arrival, 5 stars. Then, at 4.5 stars, we have Bleach for this. Again, could have done with some more 4.5 stars. I wish some of the 4 stars would have just pushed it out a little bit more to get to this level, but none of them did for me, unfortunately. But yeah, 4.5 stars, Bleach for this. Now, obviously, the 4-star section is pretty, well, I say it's pretty big, but it's not. There's only 4 movies. I didn't pick that much up in March. But we have The Edge of 17. We have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. We have The Accountant, and we have Doctor Strange. So there we go. Those are the 4 stars, which Fantastic Beasts I thought would be a 5-star movie for me. I definitely did. I feel like Edge of 17 is kind of where I thought it would be. Doctor Strange is around that point. I thought before 4.5. And The Accountant probably higher up than I thought it would be. So yeah, I gave these all 4 stars. Like I say, I definitely agree with my 4-star rating for these. And that's what they got. So yeah, 4-star section is the biggest. And for 3.5 stars, I have no movies. So none of the 4 stars fell below and none of the other ones got high enough. So for 3 stars, we have one movie, Nocturnal Animals. Yeah, I think definitely 3 stars. I enjoyed it more than the movie at the bottom. And I think that I feel good about that rating. So yeah, 3 stars. Ooh, sorry, just dropping the movie. And 2.5 stars, our lowest rating this month. I have The Light Between Oceans, which is disappointing. But I definitely feel that's where this movie fits in with the ratings. So yeah, that's The Light Between Oceans at 2.5 stars. So that's pretty much it for this video. I picked up, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies this month, so not a massive amount. I'm just grabbing them all for you. Here we are. Yeah, not a massive, not a massive amount. Josh has filmed his top 5, so if you want to know his top 5, that video is already up and I will link that. Now, my top 5 will be up either today or tomorrow. I am pretty excited to share with you because we both have very different top 5s this month. So I thought it was really interesting how they differ. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have seen any of these. What did you pick up in March? Did you have any different thoughts or opinions than me? I'd love to know them in the comments below. Thumbs up if you enjoy these recap roundups, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!